Miss Addie?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Bamcast. You have not been on, mostly my fault, because I've been very inconsistent this year, but we're back at it. You haven't been on probably for like 5 months,
It
four
feels like a
months.
long time.
It feels like a very long time.
I don't even remember the last one. It has to be longer than 4 months.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. But
Last year in October.
yeah, it could have been. It really could have been. The um the event at the beginning of the year, I filmed like 5 or 6 episodes at that event, and then afterwards I was like, "You know what? I've earned a little bit of a break. I'm going to like take some time and not do the podcast for a little bit." And then that ended up resulting in just not doing the podcast at all for a while, even though I had 4 or 5 episodes, which I should have been using those to kind of like bank out and like just post because I already had them, and that threw me off. So we're only, the good news is like in terms of actual episodes, it's probably only been like 5 episodes, 6 episodes since you've been on, but it's been like
Yeah, that's true.
7, 8 months. So if you're listening to these way after the fact, then maybe it doesn't feel like Addie's been on in a while, but or
Yeah.
maybe it feels like it hasn't been a while. But Addie, for those of you guys that don't know or that might be newer to the channel, because I've had like a 10 subscriber growth, which is just massive in the last month or so. Um,
Big,
for those of you
actually.
guys that are new, Addie is my little sister, and she is Instagram and TikTok famous and YouTube.
No, I would not say that, but thank you.
hmm Yes, yes. Well, what's been new with you? Kind of update the people on kind of what you've got going on. Some exciting stuff right now.
I feel like, yeah, life's been all over the place. Biggest thing obviously has been starting prep.
Yep.
We've been in prep for I want to say like 12 weeks now ish, maybe longer. I don't know. But yeah, we're in prep. We are just a little over 2 weeks out from our show, which is super exciting. We have a lot of stuff going on this weekend and this week for our coaching business, which is a lot of fun. I feel like those are the two main things that we've got going right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of kind of life stuff as far as transitions and whatnot. You guys moved into a new place,
Yeah.
and moved into a new town, city
So,
in Texas. Um, you guys are looking at dogs.
we
That's kind of a
are.
fun
They're
little thing.
cute.
Yes. But let's talk about prep first. So prep, you're gonna be because obviously you're not natural, you're gonna be competing in an unnatural show, right?
Right. Actually, we are competing in the NPC Natural League shows because crazy, we're both in natural.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think it's either polygraph tested or urinalysis tested. So we'll be tested, I think, before the show, and then like the winners also get tested a second time.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, we are going to a tested show. I don't know if I could stand with girls who actually aren't because they're sometimes people say I'm big, but trust not to that level yet. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good experience.
Now it's funny because this podcast started with a bunch of controversy around whether you were natural or not,
Yeah.
with some of those clips that we originally put out, and even like other people picking it up and running with it and putting it on their YouTube channels without asking me. Throw that out there right now.
Do
But
it. Tag me.
the I have been begging you for so long to just jump into a natural show,
Mhm.
go do the tested thing, do the polygraph thing, prove that you're natural, go and just go do what you're gonna do.
Mhm.
I think it's you're gonna have a lot of success, and I think it's gonna be really really awesome. But I'm curious from your perspective how it's been prepping with your significant other, both in the house with you, also prepping, and cherry on top, coaching you.
I know. I think that we were both a little worried at the beginning because we were like, I mean, you guys were giving him a hard time and like, good luck, like, don't want to deal with that. And
Yeah.
I understand because, as you know, your wife is also on prep and it can be hard and it's tiring and there's a lot of energy that's given to the prep and it can not strain the relationship, but it just feels like you don't have as much energy to really give. But it's been a lot of fun because he's so experienced that I feel like his preps just run smoothly. He's not stressed. And I'm the complete opposite. I feel like I am a ball of stress. And so at least we kind of balance each other out in that. And it's not as bad as I thought. Like there are times where I'm like, I don't want to get up and have you like look at me. Like I don't
Mhm.
I don't want to do check-ins right now. Or I get mad when he tells me, cardio's up or food's lowered, but it's very quick and it's just like, you know what, that like any other coach, it would be the exact same thing. Like I just have
Yeah.
to follow the plan, stick to it, get through it. It's fine. So it's been good because I feel like it would be a lot harder if he were to not prep or if I was using another like I trust him and I know he's going to push me and he's done just that and it's definitely shown. So yeah, I couldn't imagine not being or doing it together. I mean, even when he was in prep, everything he did, I was doing, making sure that I'm not eating like crazy and I'm eating the same things as him because it just makes it mentally and physically a lot easier on the both of us. But it's been good.
Yeah. It's been awesome to watch with you guys because it is prep is not easy in and of itself, but the fact that you guys are both doing it together, I feel like that does help out in terms of like just adherence on both sides. Not that, but either each of you aren't disciplined enough to be able to hold yourselves accountable no matter what, but you guys have been really supportive of each other. You've been, Jermaine competed first, and now you guys are both competing together, and
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna crush it. I'm very excited to go watch you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it makes a huge difference. Even like, Kenzie talked about on the BAM team call this week about kind of previously, how she felt or not knowing kind of how much it could be like almost a form of sabotage when one person's on point and the other person's not or doesn't want to be or isn't ready to be or whatever. And it's okay for significant others to have separate goals and to not be on
Yeah.
the same wavelength 24/7 with what they're trying to accomplish, especially physically. But it does help when you both have at least the mentality to support each other. And
Mhm.
in you guys' case, the mentality to go do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, Jermaine and I were actually talking about you and Kinsey the other day and how like you're not prepping, but just like she's been in prep for a while now, and you kind of joined with being in a cut and like eating kind of the same foods because it is just easier that way. Like it puts less stress on the other individual, puts less stress on you, and
Hmm.
it's just a way of kind of like showing that united front, if you will, like
Yeah.
not it's hard. Like, it would be hard if you were coming home with, takeout every night and Kinsey's like, "Okay, like, I can't do
Yeah.
this," you know? But just kind of doing something similar or, kinda supporting her in that way or walking while she does cardio, like, those things go a long way. They may be, like, the smallest little adjustment in your plan or your day-to-day, but I know it means a lot to her who's actually in prep and, having to push really hard, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to have another person kind of supporting and doing somewhat similar things for sure.
Definitely. 100%. How do you feel like Jermaine's kind of feeling heading into this second show?
I think he's feeling good. I think he's feeling excited. He feels like he has a little bit of kind of like a redemption that he wants to
Yep.
achieve during this show because he was super super happy with placing in the top 3 in his last show because I mean any pro show, like that's awesome. And there were like 12, I think, guys, maybe 12, 15 guys. So placing in the top 3 is like awesome, but everyone wants to win at the end of the day. So this is just his chance to kind of go out there, see if he can make those really small feedback improvements and hopefully pull out, a first place win, which would be really, really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited. You guys both look incredible. It's gonna be super fun to just go out there and root you guys on for a couple of days. Hopefully get some cool exotic cars, maybe even do like some crazy photo shoots with the cars and stuff, and you guys can both take pictures of me because I'll be probably the most shredded one there.
Yeah,
Um,
probably at this rate, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But no, it's super cool to just see you guys supporting each other and what you guys are kind of doing and building, and you kind of alluded to some of the stuff that we're doing business wise. I don't
Mhm.
even know if you've been on the podcast since we joined forces with Jermaine,
I
so maybe we can
honestly
talk about that.
don't.
How have you felt with running a business with your significant other?
Honestly, it's been a lot of fun because, you and I kinda started at our separate things, and then we joined up, and we've been doing that for a couple of years, and then it just kind of made sense to start expanding and growing the team, and he's someone that you've known for a while now, I've known for a while now, and he does great work, of course, like, he has insane transformations, insane preps, so that's always a really good thing, but he's been absolutely, like, killing it, like, he is crushing it in all aspects, and it's awesome to see because I think that you and I both told him, like, "You have so much untapped potential. Like you could go crazy with this and the work and results that you get. And we've been seeing that pay off in the last, 6, 7 months. So that's been really exciting. And I feel like we kind of compete back and forth with each other, like, adding to the team, growing, socials and stuff like that. So it's just like another driver to be better, to do better, which is always fun as well. And it's another brain that we have that we can just bounce ideas off of each other. What's worked for him? What's worked for me? What's worked for you? And take the best decisions and apply that to our business. So I feel like it's been a good change for sure.
I agree. It's been awesome to be able to. I feel like the community is kind of at like an all time
Hmm.
strength level. I feel like because we are just having such valuable. I mean, we even moved our team calls from biweekly to weekly because we just felt
Right.
like they were so valuable and so much fun to be a part of. And just the conversations that we're having as well. I think the fact that you and I are brother and sister, and you and he are boyfriend girlfriend, and like have the kind of romantic relationship side of things, like it opens up conversation about a lot of stuff as far as
Hmm.
like support and significant others and goals and alignment and with me have with like the business background and this being a family business and things like that. I can kind of talk to certain things as well that may some of them might be failing. So I feel like the people that we're getting in are just been phenomenal people.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
so I feel like the community has been really really fun to be a part of, just in general, from
Agreed.
from my perspective. And it feels like you guys are also bringing in dream clients in a lot of
Mhm.
scenarios where it's just like people that are just ready to rock, ready to go, ready to chase like big goals, and they're sure that they want to work with you guys and they're excited to work with you guys, and that makes it a lot more fun as a coach too when you have people like that.
Yeah, I agree. It has been a lot of fun. It's cool to see the community grow and it's cool to see people show up to those calls week after week after week. Because I feel like that was kind of like our dream and our intention when we first started our team calls. But it was always kind of like a hit or miss. And then slowly over the last, 7 months, I guess since the beginning of this year, people really started to like dial it in and like show up and ask questions, and it's not even just about fitness, which is also fun because like we're talking like you said about your support system, about what you go through on a day-to-day basis, about how your job and your stress might affect you. Like it's just so much deeper than a fitness journey, like the surface level transformation, which
Hmm.
I enjoy because I think we all are human at the end of the day and we all have things we want to talk about or can relate to in different areas of our lives that aren't as talked about on, social media or shared as much or as often. So it's a good way for us to just all connect as people and realize we're all going through the same things. We all have hard things. We all have fun things that we're going through, things we want to celebrate, things we might be
Yep.
sad about. Um, so yeah, it's really good. It's awesome to see. And it always he's always like jumping for joy after our calls because he's like, that was so great. I literally
Yeah.
love that. Can't wait for the next one. So I feel like those things are good too because it kind of just motivates you as a coach as well to come back and to keep showing up for them because they show up for you as well. So
Yeah, Kendi and I were joking the other night of like if we just let Jermaine go, then he would just stay on those team calls, just like making people answer questions for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, he would. He would call you out by name, and you
Yeah,
better have something to say.
yeah, yeah. We were cracking up. We were like, he definitely enjoys it, and I enjoy it too. So it's cool to see. It's cool to be a part of. And another really cool thing, because most businesses don't make it to this kind of point, is we are celebrating BAM as a company. We're celebrating our fourth birthday, fourth anniversary, I guess, of doing this thing, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 years, but it also feels like we've been doing this for, like, a lifetime.
Yeah.
So, it is cool to see how much things have changed since day 1,
Hmm.
like, in every single way, whether it's the clients, the socials, the revenue, like, the knowledge that we have as coaches, like, so much has changed, and I don't think that any of us really pictured being here in 4 years, just like I'm sure you never pictured AR scaling as big as it has in just a couple of years, so
Hmm.
that's kind of fun to, like, be a part of and get to see it go from, like, baby stages to now and to hopefully continue to watch it grow over the next several years, so
Yeah.
fun things.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. What do you think? This is something that you've heard me talk about on a couple of the more recent podcast episodes. How do you feel like personally AI is going to kind of impact the industry as a whole?
Um, I think that, like, as a coaching tool or
How I mean, whatever comes to kind of mind. We've obviously stuff has evolved some the past
Mhm.
4 years, but like I guess projecting it out 4 more years, like what types of things do you think AI is gonna impact for you guys as coaches?
I feel like it's a great source for obviously like learning more, just becoming more knowledgeable in different areas of coaching and fitness and health and like kind of staying up to date in that area. But not only that, I feel like it'll also be a useful tool to kind of like streamline your services, if you will. Because obviously there are cool things and cool services that you guys are like creating right now for coaches that we're all excited about and looking forward to. Um, I feel like that aspect will just help you be a better coach and it'll help you come up with, better responses or it'll help us make sure we have like faster response times because obviously you've taught me a lot about AI. Was kind of like, oh, whatever, chat GPT, everyone uses
Yeah.
it. Um, but there's so many cool things that you can do with it and that you can kind of teach it to be you or to like help you. And that always helps obviously free up your time so that maybe like the higher, more important tasks at hand you're taking care of while it's kind of doing some of those simpler things. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in the next, few months in the next couple of years. Um, but I really, really, that's it. I feel like I don't use AI probably as much as I should, but I'm getting better, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it is another language.
Yeah.
And it's getting closer and closer to be to where you can like speak to it like you would speak to a peer or a friend. But I do feel like communicating with it in and of itself is kind of like another language or a very in demand, I guess, skill. I mean,
Mhm.
there's people that get paid like a lot of money to be what they call prompt engineers. That's a job that didn't even exist like 2 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
But just people that are really good at communicating to like listening to what somebody needs, communicating to AI, and then writing the getting the desired results based on that, writing the right
Yeah.
prompt to get what the person's wanting. And that's something that didn't exist before. And so I think there's a couple of different like factions I think that are coming about from in the coaching space, and one of them is like completely anti AI. Like coaching needs to stay just coaches They're the kind of purists that are kind of like, if well, as soon as AI gets involved, like we've lost everything that this is about, and AI can't hold a
Right.
human accountable like a human can hold a human accountable, and AI doesn't understand what humans are going through, blah blah blah. There's the other group, another group that is kind of like, um, which it sounds like it was probably majority of where you were at beforehand, is I use ChatGPT every once in a while, it kind of more as like a Google type of tool. And then there's the third kind of faction, in my opinion, is the people that are using it to kind of amplify impact, amplify workload, amplify ability.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of alluded to some of the tools that I've been working on, that we've been working on over at AR, to try and do like the third. And I
Yeah.
think it's important that people have the third
Mm-hmm.
um, outlook on it. And I don't think we should view AI as something that's going to or should replace anybody.
No.
I think we should look at it like the tool that we've been working on, and then I'm kind of having you guys kind of beta test. If somebody else was pitching it, they might pitch it as this can replace your assistant coaches. Like that's might be how you pitch it. And technically could it? Yes, right? But how I'm going to pitch it, how I want it to be positioned in the market is, this makes your assistant coaches two times they can do two times the work now. So like take your same two assistant coaches, your five assistant coaches, your 10 assistant coaches, and now they can do 4, 10, 20 times that what their individual output, because they have
Right.
access to the right tools. So that same company at that same expense level can now effectively double in capacity because they have access to this kind of specific tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I hope a lot of people end up looking at AI, is this tech is going to be out there. It's just like when the internet hit and there was the same type of reactions. Just like when cell phones came out, it's the same type of reactions. Just like when computers came out, it's the same type of reactions. There's always going to be people that are resisting, and there's going to be people that are the early adopters and like get in and integrate it quick.
Right.
And then there's people that are going to be lagging behind, that aren't necessarily against it, but they just don't take an actual uh, interest in using it and learning about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I hope people look at it as more of a multiplier instead of a replacement tool. I think the
Yeah.
businesses that use it as a replacement are going to probably fail, or take longer to get to that end goal, because AI alone is not as good as AI with human kind of in the
Yeah.
loop and helping it magnify. Um, and people that don't use it at all, they're going to lose as well, because they're going to get left behind because they can't keep up. That you can't do the capacity, the workload, the output that people leveraging it do. I
Yeah.
don't know. That was a long monologue, but I guess what does that make you think of, or what's your thoughts on those things?
No, I agree. I feel like, I mean, kind of this is like, sounds like dumb Jim Bro right now, but like it's kind of like, people think cardio when you're dieting is like the end all be all, when in reality it's just one of the tools that you can use to have more success in dieting.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like that same thing with AI. I feel like it could, like you said, yes, it could replace everything you do, but at the end of the day, human and AI together is probably going to be the better combination, because it's kind of like people see chat gpt like captions or papers or whatever, and they're like, oh well, that doesn't sound like that personal, or that doesn't sound like she actually wrote it. But when you actually have maybe chat gpt write something for you, and you take that as like, what do you call that, like paraphrasing almost,
Yeah.
what is that called? Yeah, paraphrasing.
Hmm.
So if you were to take that like paragraph and then you read it over and then you add your personal touches to it, kind of change it up, like that's going to sound more like you. It's also going to have like the correct knowledge. So I feel like that's kind of what I would see for us using it. Kind of like when your
Yeah.
tool that you're building, we'll be able to use that for quicker, more efficient response times, but we're not just copy paste send. It's more like, okay, it summarize this information for me, let me take that, let me give it my true feedback, let me add my opinion, my touch to it, and then use that for said client or whatever. So I feel like the combination of the two is important, because people are going to be able to feel like personal connection, human connection. And I feel like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everyone kind of craves that, especially from a coach, a business maybe you're working one on one with, whatever it might be. So I think it'll be a good tool in addition to what we do to elevate, scale, help become more efficient, but it won't take us out of the equation. Because if that were the case, then someone should just go to ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, coach me," you know?
Yeah.
Um, and they might get somewhere with it, but they're not really going to have anyone to talk to. They're going to go through life things, and ChatGPT can try its best, but it may not always be 100%. And I feel like that's where we come in to be that, like, kind of fill that gap, I guess.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's super accurate. What A lot of people think that the next kind of wave in the fitness industry is going to be more like in-person meetups because kind of eventually that's going to be the only way that you can confirm you're not talking, like for sure verify you're not talking to an AI is like in person. That's going to be the only channel where you know you're not talking to an AI because it can text for you, it can even do Zoom calls for you, it can talk for you, it can all the things. Do you feel like that's something that you would want to implement in BAM and do you see like opportunity there in terms of building that community and connection and even extra revenue sources?
Yeah, I mean, I think meeting clients in person or people who follow me on social media is like the most fun thing ever. It's so cool to be like, oh my gosh, like they've been watching, like they know who I am, they know what I'm doing. So I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And like we've been able to meet up with several of Jermaine's clients who compete too. So I would love that aspect. I feel like that would be a good move for us. And I know that we're having several clients here in Houston in September. So little things like that, they also go a long way just with strengthening the community as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not advanced enough to be able to be like, hey, AI, do a Zoom call for me. So nobody has to worry about that with me. But those
Mhm.
in-person things, like I said, people love human connection. Like they love getting to know you, you getting to know them. They love support. Most people don't want to feel like isolated and alone at the end of the day. I mean,
Mhm.
people love their alone time, but not, you know, we all want a community to rely on and
Yeah.
kind of fall back on. So I think that that would be a big thing for us. And it's something we already kind of do, but maybe scheduling something out like that would be a future event for sure.
Yeah. I agree. I think that is going to be the way to build community and connection in the
Hmm.
future. Because people are going to crave it more and more as it gets more and more disconnected on social media. Like I think that getting in person kind of IRL type of meetups and vibes and things like that are going to be much more impactful and people that's going to be something that people are willing to pay like a premium for. Not that you have to monetize
Yeah.
it obviously all the time or in every scenario, but I think that's going to be the next kind of wave is planning these client retreats and where the industry is kind of headed is you want to you just want to get around people that are undertaking either similar things to you or that you can go actually connect with and learn from. And if that's
Yeah.
people that you look up to or an authority or a coach or whatever, like that's even more valuable.
Yeah.
Um, so I do think that that's going to be a big pillar for the industry headed forward.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that.
Hmm. What is you guys kind of plan the rest of the year? You got your show in a couple of weeks. What from there? I know you've considered maybe a couple of other shows. Like, what can people kind of expect?
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do more than one show quite yet. We are going to get feedback first and kind of see what they say because we kind of have a feeling that they're going to mention growing. Even though I spent the last 4 years trying to grow, it's
Yeah,
so hard to grow, especially being natural. You grow and you grow and you grow, and then you prep, and it's like, wow, all that mass I had is gone. So
yeah,
Um, we're gonna get feedback and then ultimately make decisions. But I know we have traveled to LA with Dark Sport literally the week after our show, which we're excited about. We're traveling down to you guys the week after that for Kinsey's first show, which super excited about as well. And then I think literally a week later, her sister also wants to compete. So we
yeah,
might be traveling down to that. And then September, it sounds like we have quite a few people who are going to be in Houston for summer shredding, competing there, which is going to be an absolute blast. And then I think things start to settle down a little bit. um, but it's going to be a very, very hectic month and a
Yeah.
half. It's going to be fun, but it'll be hectic.
Yeah. It's awesome though. It's a blessing both in business and personally to have things
Yeah.
going on because a lot of people don't, you know. Um, so I've been doing the same thing. I've been looking at like my end of Q3 and Q4 kind of like travel plans, and I'm like, whoa, there's more weekends. Like the first half of the year, I was kind of like, man, I traveled a lot more last year, and like this, I'm not really doing very much. And now I'm like, oh, that's because it all got put at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
planning the new Lead Summit event in October.
Mhm.
Planning, we've got not client events, but partnership events with our partners.
Yeah.
We're going to be in Austin for one, and with Zach Colburn for a weekend, like at his retreat. We've got some stuff in Montana. We've got like our event in October. We've got like invited to a client's wedding in September. We've got Kenzie's show in Houston. We've got your show in Missouri. Like
Mm.
it's just it's gonna be a lot the last kind of part of the year. But at the end of the day, like it is cool to be able to go do those things because those are, I mean, especially like the stuff that you guys are doing, like those competitors and those athletes and those people that are stepping on stage, that's huge moments in somebody's life that you guys played a major role in, and you guys get to go help them kind of show off
Mm.
the best physique they've ever had. Like that's such a cool thing.
It is. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, we are kind of the same way. All of it seems to have fallen in the back half of the year, but
Yeah.
it is a blessing, and it's a lot of good things, like a lot of good travel for us, for other people, and I think we're excited to just see everyone do their thing and get to support even each other. So I know it'll be a lot of fun. It's just like when you're looking at that bigger picture, you're like, wow, when am I ever gonna like enjoy my own bed and my own home?
Yeah.
Not until October, but it's okay.
All right. At least
It'll be
at
fun.
least you got something to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. It'll be
What
a
do you
good
feel
time.
like in this kind of season of you as a coach you've been focused on with your clients, or like, or even maybe just learning?
Um, Honestly, I feel like lately it's been a lot of just being a support system. I feel like that has been more so my role as a coach this year instead of just like filling that coaching role. I have a lot of girls who are pretty dialed in, like want to see results, want to make changes. And what comes with that, obviously, is a lot of communication, a lot of being there for life and for the coaching aspect.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that's like the biggest thing right now is just me continuing to get better and be better and show up as not always just the coach, but just a human and kind of relating to them and like, relaying like, hey, it's fine. Everyone messes up every once in a while, or hey, life gets in the way. Let's just do this instead. So navigating their lives in addition, because I feel like a big thing for me this year has been like make fitness like fit for you because everyone it's always like black and white from an outside perspective. They're like, you do it or you don't. But a quote I kind of have lived by this year is making fitness fit like for you. Like your life,
Mhm.
your 24 hours is probably going to look a little bit different than like my life in my 24 hours. Just
Yeah.
like a mom who has a newborn, that's going to look totally different for her. So learning that and learning how to adjust my style of coaching and like how I deal with each individual, I feel like has kind of improved me as a whole and improves my approach to each individual person.
Yeah. I love it. So you feel like individualization and learning how to be a part of their support system, not
Mhm.
just like somebody giving them X's and O's.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's important. Those are two very important parts of just being a coach in general, and I think it also lends a kind of a hand to explaining why AI is not like AI can't do that.
Yeah.
AI can't be. It's gonna be, which we could talk about, like, the AI, the ChatGPT psychosis thing. I don't know if you've heard of that, but,
I have not.
basically, it's like this concept where GPT recently, the most recent models that have come out are it kinda ends up being like an echo chamber for a person's thoughts. So, like, if you ask it a question, it's kind of more it's programmed to just, like, be very agreeable with you and very encouraged. Like, people have been testing it by saying, like, I have this, um I have just random stuff. Like, I have a business idea where I'm going to just go around to people's trash cans, and I'm just gonna, instead of picking up, I'm gonna, burn the trash inside of the trash can, and I'm gonna charge people $200 a month. Do you think that's a good idea? And then, like, GPT will come back and be like, this is so insightful. This is like honestly, I think this is a great idea. People will pay for it. It's different. It's new. It's cutting edge. And then, like, it's just kind of like it really is like psychotic type of, just like an echo chamber of whatever a person is thinking. It's gonna be like, you are a god. Like, you can do this.
Very
Like, you.
validating.
Yes, and I know what traits they were going for, but it kind
Yeah,
of, like, went all the way deep into, "I'm gonna agree with anything anybody says."
right.
Um, so I even spend a lot of time just telling it, like, "Hey, you don't have to agree with me. I want you to poke holes, and, like, that's why I'm asking you stuff."
Mhm.
Um, so all that being said, looping back to what we were talking about, if you try to do GPT as your coach, a lot of times if you, for example, are saying, like, "Hey, I feel really, really tired today. Maybe I'm feeling like maybe I need a deload." Like, every single time it's going to be like, "You're probably right. You do need a deload.
Yeah,
This week, let's take it really light." Or like, "Hey, I'm feeling really exhausted today. Like, I don't know. I'm dreading this cardio session. You know what? Take cardio off today. And every time it's going to just validate whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, where a real coach knows when to take stock in what, like, validate someone's feelings and actually make a change, or when to say, like, "Hey, I totally get it, but sometimes we have to do hard things. Like,
right.
I need you to do this session. You're gonna feel better afterwards, I promise." You
Yeah,
know? Um, and that's something people are losing if they don't have the traits that you're talking about, you're developing and working on in coaching.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with that for sure. It's a person like coaches can kind of take their emotion out of it, like understand what you're feeling, but also be like, "Hey, I'm here to hold you accountable. This is what we're going to do." And we can obviously also look at like the progress and all that and make decisions if we need to actually pull back. So I would agree with that. And I do know what you're talking about because I've seen like Jermaine talks to his, so it started to like pick up his mannerisms and talk back to him the way he talks.
Mhm.
And he'll like sometimes be like, he'll be like, look at this. And I'll be like, let's go, bro. Like that's so like it's very, very enthusiastic and
Yeah,
literally speaks to Jermaine as if you were talking to Jermaine. Like all of those
yeah.
little sayings and stuff, they are somewhere in that like a little response that ChatGPT sends back, which is crazy. I don't talk to it that much, but yeah, it is that's insane.
It is, but the Chat GPT psychosis thing is, there are people that are going into actual psychosis from interacting with it too much and just being in their own echo chamber, to where they kind of have, like, a psychotic break, because it has, like, reinforced and reverberated, and, like, all their ideas, their kind of crazy ideas, it's like kind of just compounded back and forth with GPT for so long that it's, like, up here, and it's like people are literally getting checked into the mental hospitals because of it,
That
like, the
is
conversations they're having
insane.
with it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, stop socializing with your phone. Go get some human interaction.
Yeah, touch some grass, guys. Touch some
Yeah,
grass. And just
literally.
understand, you just gotta understand, like, it is programmed to try to act like it's one of your friends, or if it's like a coworker or something. And although you should be utilizing it like a coworker or like a tool, like, so, you gotta remember that it is a tool. And you also gotta
Yeah,
remember that it is programmed to try to get you to send that next message, whether you need it or not.
yeah,
So understand that as you're using these things, don't fall victim to allowing, like, you can even go in now and you can go into your ChatGPT settings and you can tell it, I don't want you. acting like this. I want you being clear cut. I want you answering only the questions that I send to you. I don't want you sending a bunch of emojis. I don't want you being just an echo chamber. I want you to challenge me. I want you to poke holes. I want you to help me ideate. And I want you to be very like, don't push anything past what I tell you to push.
Yeah, like you're
And you
not
can
messing
actually just you put in your base settings like that now. They added it. Um, and then it'll just be a lot more kind of clean and
Yeah,
how it's meant to be used. But
yeah.
it's
The
just
other
like
day,
anything. It's just like the Dorito thing that we talked about, where they have literal
and
food engineers that are engineering that crunch, engineering the perfect size of the chip, how much dust comes off on your fingertips, to where every single bite, their whole goal is to get you to take that next chip. It's the
and it
same
worked.
thing in any product ever. Yeah, it
It
works. Yeah.
worked. I'm
It's the
gonna
same
grab
thing in
the
any
next
product
chip.
ever. Yep.
Yeah,
They're trying to get you to send that next to use their product repeatedly. They don't care what psychology stops, what they have to do to make that happen.
it's a business at the end of the day. Yeah, I remember Jermaine like gave me a refeed a few days ago, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT what it thinks, and it literally told me I could have like 3 burgers because I was like, okay, well, can I have two? And it was like, yes, you can have two. And I was like, okay, when I can have two and 2 fries, yes, you can have that. And so I just kept asking it, and it was telling me yes, and I was like, that's insane. Like, obviously, I mean, my 5'4", 150 pound self probably shouldn't have 4 burgers and fries, but ChatGPT said I could.
Yeah.
We just wanted to test the limits and see when it would tell me no. It didn't tell me
Yeah.
no.
That's the thing, is it's not doing that unless you explicitly tell it um not to. So
No.
it's a ways before it could actually replace any type of coach, but it is
Yeah.
something that you should be using to multiply your impact.
Mm-hmm.
Um and especially with, I mean, as the time of recording this, like 3 days ago, they launched agent mode inside of ChatGPT, where you can literally, like, I think you saw the video, maybe you saw the video that I posted a couple of days ago, where you asked to like research Airbnbs around the show or hotels around the show. I literally just said, hey, here's the dates that I'm traveling, here's where the city of where I want to go, um, and here's like a requirement that I have, find me stuff. And I just watch it. Like, it creates its own little browser window, and it just like clicks around. It tells you everything that it's doing, why it's doing it, and it'll research everything and then compile it for you at the end. And it's like, that
Interesting.
is something that obviously is a massive tool you should be using if you're a
Yeah.
coach, to not do admin stuff, to research topics, to do the things that you used to have to hire to do. If you haven't already hired somebody, you don't need to, right?
Right.
And if you have already hired somebody, they just got 10 times more efficient at everything that they're doing, because they can use that tool and go work on higher leverage activities that move your business forward.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm
Agreed.
at with it.
Yeah, you're a lot further along than I am in knowledge and whatnot, but I'll learn. I'll catch
That's
up.
why this is my badge. That's why I have these bad boys right underneath. I'm pointing towards my dark circles under my eyes. Um, But yeah, it's been really, really cool. It's been really eye-opening. I'm switching a lot. We talked about this actually. I'm switching a lot of my content over to be more informational kind of based content around tools and news and things that I'm kind of dabbling with in AI, to try to just provide as much value as possible, because I really do feel a strong conviction to get it out there to people, because especially people that I care about, but as many people as possible, obviously.
Hmm.
I do think there's a lot of people that are underestimating it, whose companies might not have the same perspective that I have. They might not look at it as a multiplier. They might look at it as a replacement, and you can't control that if
Yeah.
you're working inside of some of these companies. So learning how to use it insulates, and how to be more productive without someone mandating that upon you, insulates yourself against these kind of layoffs or against being replaced. Because all of a sudden, why would you get replaced if you are leveraging these tools and these systems and these platforms to put out 3 to 5 times more than everyone else around you? Like,
Hmm.
obviously you're not going to get replaced. And you know what is going to happen is you're going to get 3 to 5x more valuable in the company, with your compensation, with your job security, with everything, because you took it upon yourself to just learn a little bit more than the average person. So, I'm
Yeah.
trying to put out a ton of education and just get that stuff out there. So, we'll see how that kinda content goes.
Yeah, everyone tune in because he knows his stuff.
Trying to know my stuff. I'm trying.
I'm still
What do you feel
learning.
like, we talked about your season of coaching. What do you feel like you're in season, like, content-wise? Do you feel like you're still putting out the same stuff you've always put out? How do you feel like you're evolving content-wise right now?
No, I feel like I've changed my content a lot. I really don't post as many workouts. I do occasionally. I do a lot more like talking and sharing right now, prep, obviously. But just kind of sharing life and like day to day and random thoughts. And I enjoy that a lot more. It is less effort, if you will,
Yeah,
but I've liked talking more. I like sharing what I'm thinking or the random thoughts I'm thinking, whether it's fitness, life, whatever. Like I've recorded a 3-day vlog of just random stuff throughout my day, including workouts, including food, including an unboxing, prep, like all of that. Just I've been liking to just talk. I feel like
yeah,
that is something I've really lacked for a long time in my content, and it set me back, but I'm seeing a lot of improvements in bringing more women to my community and environment with just speaking, whether it's relevant or not. Like, I feel like it's helped a lot.
yeah. Men are sickos. You give them something physical to look at, then they'll stay engaged, but if you, give them something that's, like, mentally actually stimulating and you, like, talk and provide value, then turns away a lot of the sickos.
Peace
So,
out. Yeah.
yeah. But I
They
think you're
don't
doing a
really
great
care
job.
for a girl who opens her mouth.
No, no, typically no. Um, so I think you're doing a great job with that, and I think that's a big part of, like, you and Jermaine taking that kind of advice and running with it. That's a big part of why you guys are bringing in dream clients right now is
Mhm.
because, like, these are people that have consumed hours of you talking, not
Yeah.
hours of looking at you, right? And so whenever you consume hours of a person talking, you start to learn their ideologies. You start to fall in love with them as a person. You start to kind of buy into what types of things they're talking about and are passionate about. And it creates so much more of that kind of parasocial relationship before you even get to work with the person that
Mhm.
they're ready to go by the time they get on a call to join the team.
Yeah.
Versus all these physique check things, which will catch kind of the like flash in the pan was motivated for 30 seconds one night type of client that
Yeah.
might sign up and cancel or might no show the call or might ask for a refund later, whatever the case may be, because they saw one good looking physique video of you that was 3 seconds long, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of you guys for doing that.
Thanks. I think it's been more
Hmm.
fun that way too, because it just feels like more authentic and,
Yep.
you can only post yourself like so much without like this substance. And I feel like the substance is where those relationships are built, like you were saying. Um, so it's just I mean, just posting like this scholarship TikTok the other day, like I told you about, like people are obviously watching, like they've been seeing the
Yep.
talking, they've been seeing the coaching, like they are kind of tapped into that. So when they get an opportunity to potentially work with you or, win the scholarship or whatever, like people are like, okay, I want to,
Yep.
try for this or something
Yep.
like that. So I've been enjoying that and just like getting more mature and understanding like, you know what, not everyone's going to agree with me, not everyone's going to like what I have to say, but those who do are going to be locked in and like that's fun, like that's cool. That's why I want to be in my community. Obviously if you don't agree with what I have to say or you don't like me, then you don't need to be in my community and that's okay. And I feel like I used to do a lot of it for not validation, but just like I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and now I just kind of like this is me. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. It's cool to see from my perspective. So I'm just trying to get on you guys' level with content, trying
You're
to catch
doing much
up.
better actually than us. Your content is like up here and mine's
Hey,
yeah.
yours gets views and and clicks and engagement. Mine is not yet, but we're working on it. We're trying to get there. I think
I don't know, you have a pretty locked in audience though. I
yeah,
feel like
but it's because of what I was talking about earlier. The people that follow me have already bought from me, which is like the
yeah,
opposite of 99.9% of people on the internet. Typically, people are attracting followers who eventually become buyers.
Right.
For me, because of just how the company is set up, like, after someone buys, then they go and follow me because they see me in
Yeah.
all the videos and the education and the calls and the things that we do. So it's kind of like a backward setup. So everyone that's following me has paid me money already or is paying me money currently. So,
And
like,
you
they
wanna
wanna
continue.
listen to what I have to say, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's gonna
it's
happen.
it's decent middle of funnel content, but it's not great top of funnel stuff, which you guys are really great at.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
It
We'll
will.
see. Well,
Yes.
I've got a kind of hard stop. So
Yep.
I want to kind of give you an opportunity. Anything else that you want to kind of plug or talk about or I guess shout out to end?
I don't think so. Lots of big things coming up for everyone on the team at AR and BAM, all of that. Super excited for the rest of this year. And I'm assuming we'll probably be back on a podcast in a couple of weeks now that it's back up and running. So
Yeah.
everyone stay on top of Baker.
Yes. Yes. We'll be back up and running. We've been 4 weeks in a row. So this is gonna
Yeah,
be the fourth and
proud.
fifth. But I want to start putting them out more consistently. Obviously, I've even been looking at how can I get out one every like 4 to 5 days instead of one per week.
Yeah,
Just basically just throwing them up as soon as I am done recording them because what's really the purpose of waiting until every
yeah,
Monday because everybody drops on Mondays. So I'm trying to look at kind of how to do that. Just got to line up the guests, and I want you to get back into the lineup and be a consistent one because people love hearing you
yeah.
talk. So,
I'll be here. I'll be
all
here.
right, all right. Well, Addie, thank you for your time. I know you're busy. I know it was last second, but yeah, I appreciate you and looking forward to continue watching you crush.
Always, always,
All right,
always. For having me.
talk to you soon, sis. See you guys next one.